Carlos Alcaraz reappears in SPARKS controversy. The Spanish tennis player has announced that he will return to the tennis courts in the coming days for a new exhibition. Carlos Alcaraz ended his season on a bittersweet note with Spain's elimination in their Davis Cup debut, although he closed out a year in which he claimed some of the most important titles on the ATP circuit. Despite it being only weeks since the world number 3 was last in action, fans already miss seeing him on the courts. That longing is about to end, as Alcaraz has announced an upcoming match sooner than expected. The Spanish tennis star is currently planning part of his next season. Just after confirming his participation in the 2025 Laver Cup, Alcaraz surprised tennis fans by announcing his next appearance, set for the coming days, which has stirred divided opinions and reignited controversy around him. Carlos Alcaraz announces his next match. The Mercian tennis player announced on his social media that he will participate in the Charlotte Invitational, set to take place in the United States in the coming days. This exhibition match will be held on December 6 at the Spectrum Center in North Carolina. Alcaraz will face Frances Tiafoe in this event, which also features a women's duel between Madison Keys and Sloane Stephens. These matches are part of his preparation for the next season, where his biggest challenge will be the Australian Open, marking the start of his 2025 campaign. Before that, he will also play another exhibition at Rod Laver Arena, featuring big names like Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz back at the center of controversy. However, this announcement has not gone down well with many tennis fans. This stems from Alcaraz's repeated complaints about the demanding ATP calendar. "I haven't played that many tournaments, but I have played many matches. Some think this calendar is fine, but others feel there are too many mandatory tournaments, and more will probably come. They are killing us," the Spaniard said. Alcaraz's participation in several exhibition matches throughout the year has drawn criticism, as fans see it as contradictory to his complaints about the regular season calendar. This announcement has once again placed Alcaraz in the middle of controversy. Italy and Sinner deal a blow to Carlos Alcaraz. The Davis Cup chooses Italy as host for 3 years, granting the Italian team direct entry to the finals. Spain must defeat Switzerland and then Denmark or Serbia to qualify. One of Carlos Alcaraz's future goals has become even more challenging. Italy has been chosen to host the final tournaments of the season, adding the Davis Cup finals for the next 3 years to the ATP finals, which will continue to be held in Turin until 2030. Spain had hoped to retain hosting rights for these finals, with Valencia as the favorite candidate. However, flooding in the region forced its withdrawal. Malaga made a new bid but without much hope. Although China was initially expected to secure the bid, Italy ultimately won, guaranteeing its presence in the next 3 final stages as the host nation. Spain, the biggest loser in the venue and format change. As a result, Spain faces even greater difficulties in a competition that hasn't favored it under the new format. Alcaraz will need to battle for the Davis Cup trophy under challenging circumstances, indoor, fast courts where he isn't at his best, and a home crowd supporting his main rival, Jannik Sinner. Additionally, Spain must first pass 2 preliminary rounds to reach the group stage. In 2025, these rounds will be held on January 31 or February 1 to 2. Following the draw held in London, Spain has been paired with Switzerland and will play this match away. Ranking-wise, it doesn't appear to be a tough challenge, as Switzerland lacks players in the top 100, with their best ranked being Alexander Richard, 118th, Jerome Kim, 134th, and Leandro Riti, 135th. However, they'll likely set up favorable conditions to complicate matters for Spain, whose roster for the tie remains uncertain, given it will take place just after the Australian Open. The winner of this tie will face the victor of the Denmark vs Serbia clash, featuring Holger Rune and Novak Djokovic, with the Danes playing at home. Carlos Alcaraz revisits his worst nightmare. The Spanish tennis star keeps moving, returning to the United States, where he experienced one of his toughest moments this year, to play on Wednesday and Friday. The 2024 ATP Tour season officially ended this Sunday. While major tournaments concluded with the Davis Cup in Malaga a week ago, 4 ATP Challenger events and the Next Generation ATP Finals wrapped up the year. Carlos Alcaraz ended his season earlier than planned due to Spain's loss alongside Granollers in their Davis Cup Finals debut, exiting at the start of the week and heading off on vacation. This break was short-lived, as he begins preparing for a season in which he aims for more consistency than in 2024. Alcaraz is heading to the United States to play his penultimate match of the year against another rising star, Ben Shelton. The match will take place at the iconic Madison Square Garden in New York on Wednesday, just 15 days after his season ended in Andalusia. The event will also feature a women's match between Jessica Pegula and Emma Navarro, the world number 7 and 8, respectively, which will serve as a prelude to Alcaraz and Shelton's showdown. Carlos Alcaraz faces Tiafoe. This won't be Alcaraz's last match of the year, as he'll stay in the US to play a second match against Frances Tiafoe 2 days later. This encounter is part of the Charlotte Invitational at the Spectrum Center. Like the previous event, it will feature a women's match, recreating the 2017 US Open final between Sloane Stephens and Madison Keys. The Spanish star will aim to make amends and leave a positive impression in a country where he only managed one win this summer, losing in the first round in Cincinnati and the second round at the US Open. After this match, Alcaraz will return to Spain to undergo the toughest part of his preseason training and is likely to schedule additional private matches before heading to Australia. He plans to debut at the first Grand Slam of the year, though he'll participate in some exhibition matches in the lead up to the Australian Open. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. At Tennis Zone, we're dedicated to bringing you the best information for the best audience, sharing in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and complete coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. At Tennis Zone, we strive to deliver updated, high-quality content on players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant events in world tennis.